Today I'm going to be reviewing a Peruvian gem. Now, it's called Ron Millonario Reserva Especial 15 Años. So it's 15-year-old Solera system rum. So it's been put through a 4-barrel Solera system. Ron Millonario is from, like I said, from Peru, and Peru has just an ancient history of civilizations. It's just an amazing area, and all the countries around that sort of border it. So you're looking at Peru's in the western South America. It's been home to ancient civilizations like the Chico and the Incas. It was conquered by the Spanish in the 16th century, and then it won its independence in 1821. Now, in 1904, in the northern Peru, the Hacienda Agricola de Chiclayo was founded in an area between the mountains and the sea. Chiclayo also was known as the City of Friendship. So that's a nice, isn't it? City of Friendship, very nice. At around this time, a small group of farmers united to build a refinery at great cost to themselves and hardship. And in 1922, a guy called Don Rolando Castillo bought the hacienda and refinery and the surrounding sugar cane plantations. And there was plenty of raw material for him to produce sugar, but he didn't have the technology to harness it to its full potential. So he didn't have the means there to deal with the byproduct of the molasses to make rum, and so that you basically have harnessed it to its full potential. The workforce also around the area were indigenous people from the fields and a poor background, and they didn't have the technical know-how to do it as well. So basically, they needed to be trained, but there's no point in training people if you've not got the kit there to get the job done, is there? So basically, that went on for a bit of time, and then in 1933, Don Rolando decided he's got to do something about this waste of resources. So he sent his eldest son, Augusto, to Cambridge University to study chemical engineering. And then in 1938, a ship was bound for Peru with a Scottish column steel on board and machinery for refining, and hence he got the kit to do the job. Now, what happened then is, obviously, they produce rum and lay it back to age, and then in 1950 it was a massive year for Augusto, because Ron Millonario was born, and that was the year when it came out in 1950. The name Ron Millonario was given to Don Rolando by the workers because they couldn't afford to sample the rum, because it was a long process to make, and they were just poor people. They couldn't afford to buy it, so they called it Por los Millonarios, in acknowledgement to the exclusive club of individuals wealthy enough to buy it. In 2004, Fabio Rossi landed in Peru, and he discovered this gorgeous rum, and he basically stumbled across one of Peru's treasures, you know what I mean? So the Rossi brothers, since then, they believed in Millonario so much that they just strived to push it forward and to bring it to rum lovers around the world. And what a great job as well, because here it is, and most people go anywhere, you see this rum on the shelf, you know what it is, you see it, it's distinctive. There isn't many rums, if any, at the moment with full woven bottles. It's very distinctive indeed. Ron Millonario Reserva Especial 15 Años. It's a molasses-based rum, aged for 15 years in oak cask and arranged in a Solera system. Two types of sugarcane are used for the production of this rum, and that is Rubia and Blanca. They prepare their own mother yeasts at the distillery, and the time and fermentation are what the factors that determine which esters which esters form and the influences the aromatic structure of the rum. At this point, it's transferred to the stills. There's 3 stills. It first goes into the Scott, which is the original still that came over all those years ago. It then goes into the second still, which removes the solids and purifies the liquid, ready for the master blender. And the third still is a rectification column, which removes the low and high oils. It's then put into casks for the aging process, following a 4-row Solera system. The casks are kept in a shaded part of the distillery to rest. They once contained bourbon, French and Spanish wines. So to take on the flavours from that Solera. So basically they age and take on the elements that give it its beautiful flavour. The master distiller is called Eduardo Seban, and it's him that will decide when the moment is right to create the final mezcla or mixture. And then the current mezclador, I like that, the mezclador, the mixture man, Antonio Saul Matteo, creates the final blend, honouring Augusto's secret recipe. Now, big history. This is I call this a whirlwind tour, as they say. I'll put up the information up on one of my websites on Robustious Times. So if people want to go and have a look at it, they can. But basically now I'm just going to go through a little bit of the presentation. Like I said, very, very distinctive. You look at the bottle, it's a woven palm, toquillo palm leaves or palm fibres, the same fibres that are used to make the Panama hats. So they send them up into a town in northern Peru to get this done, and very distinctive, lovely, big, bold writing on the front there, Ron Millonario, so System Solera 15 Reserva Especial, and then you've got a little bit of information on the back. You then take the top off, little top there, which just woven little top, put on there. Goes to the top here. It is a screw cap top. I would prefer maybe something that could be done to cover that, to make it look in keeping with the rest of the bottle. But apart from that, when you've got the top on, you don't see it anyway. But here we go for what's inside the bottle, because I'm telling you, I had a little get together on this rum last night, and I must admit, once I poured one, another one went, then another one, and I must admit I did have a few last night, and it just gets so Moorish. It's really lovely. First of all, the colour. You look at the colour, it's a dark, rich, burnt amber colour. It's lovely, and as soon as you pour it, beautiful caramel, vanilla notes come into your nose. It really does. It's a lovely, lovely aroma to it. You could smell dried fruits. It's gorgeously sweet and rich. Caramel, like I said. If you ever made caramel, you get sugar and you just cook it until it starts to colour, and at that point you get it off. This is like when you just take it that little bit to the next stage, where it starts to get that little bit darker and it becomes really rich and fudgy. It's nice. I really like it. There's licorice in there. You can smell licorice, molasses. Really nice. Yeah, vanilla notes, like I said. Cocoa. You can get cacao on there for sure. It's beautiful. Now we're going to go for a little bit of a taste. Silky smooth, gorgeous, sweet, go into that caramel, like I told you, to a little bit of, not burnt caramel, but just the stage before that, where it gets very rich. It goes to a little bit of bitterness, which I like because it sort of counteracts with the sweetness. Molasses, raisins, chocolate notes, like I said, cloves. There's little, there is little sort of, I can get little sherry elements in it. Treacle. It's a really rich rum that is moorish. It's like a, I defy anybody to crack that bottle for the first time and have a glass and then not go back for another one, for sure. I've been chatting to a few people and they've said the same, that they love it, and that once they cracked it, they've done it in pretty fast. It's a beautiful rum, very nice. And the good news is you don't have to be a millionaire to enjoy it. You're looking at, this rum is going to set you back around about 40, anything from 40 to 45 pound a bottle online, which is, I would say, is a very fair price for it, because at that price, that's your, I'd say a 40 pound bottle of rum is about mid-range, you know what I mean? And for the quality of it and the 15-year Solera system, I think it's certainly worth the money, and I certainly would replenish it when it was gone. It's nice. And I would say that my name's Andy, and until the next time, I am going to be doing a review of the big daddy of this one, and that is the XO. So keep an eye open for that one. And I've also got a review coming of Dictator Rum's latest edition, and it is a gin of all things. Now you're thinking, a gin, what is he doing putting a gin on a rum review site? Well, this gin has been aged in ex-Dictator rum barrels, so very interested. Be looking forward to try that. My name is Andy, and until next time, enjoy.